Thank you, Chairman Kiley, for allowing me to participate in the hearing today. Thank you, Ms. Looman, for being here. Ms. Looman, are you concerned about the national debt?
Congressman Good, thank you.
You don't have to say my name each time, by the way. That's
okay.
a stall tactic. But are you concerned about the national debt?
So, Congressman Good,
You don't have to say my name each time.
Oh, sorry.
Are you concerned about the national debt?
I appreciate the question. My responsibility at the Wage and Hour Division
You work in the
is to
federal
enforce the Fair
government.
Labor
You have a
Standards
budget.
Act.
Are you concerned about the national debt?
So, Congressman Kiley, I'm concerned about.
I'm not Congressman Kiley, but
I'm sorry, Congress.
you don't have to say my name. It's okay.
Sorry. I am very.
Do you know how much the national debt is?
I don't know off the top of my head what the national debt is, sir.
Okay, it's $34 trillion. I'm not surprised because you asked for a 31% budget increase. Could you imagine if every agency and department of the federal government asked for a 31% budget increase? According to the Congressional Budget Office, repealing DavisBacon would save taxpayers $24 billion over 10 years. If we would repeal DavisBacon, which is what we should do, it would save taxpayers about $24 billion over 10 years. Can you tell the American people why we should pay $24 billion more than is necessary for construction projects, federal construction projects? Why should the taxpayer have to pay $24 billion more for federal construction projects?
So our responsibility at the Wage and Hour Division is to enforce the Davis-Bacon Act as enacted by Congress and the 71 Davis-Bacon related acts, and we make sure that workers get the worker protections under that law, including getting paid prevailing wages for the work that they're performing.
Ms. Looman, most Americans have never heard of DavisBacon. As you know, it's almost 100 years old, having been created in the 1930s as a conglomeration of the many Jim Crow-era laws. It was intended to inflate wages of government contractors and eliminate competition in favor of white union workers, in favor of labor. My bill, H.R. 720, would actually repeal this discriminatory and inflationary policy that is the Davis-Bacon Act. But back in August, your department issued a final rule that not only didn't eliminate Davis-Bacon, as we should, but it updated it. Why would the administration prop up a law with such a racist history?
So our focus in the administration is to really make sure that federal investments result in good jobs. And the Davis-Bacon is one part of ensuring that workers who are performing work on federally funded construction projects get paid locally prevailing wages.
Well, in addition to the history, the racist history of the law, it's actually discriminatory today in a different way, because it discriminates against the 89% of the construction workforce that have freely chosen. I know the administration doesn't like that when workers choose not to join a union, but 89% of construction workers have freely chosen not to be represented by a union. Do you have any concern at all that Davis-Bacon discriminates against those 89% of the workforce that are construction workers?
The regulations that we enforce and the Davis-Bacon Act that we enforce really sets a level playing field for construction contractors who are bidding on federal projects, and then also sets a level playing field to ensure that all workers are being paid not less than the prevailing wages in their local communities.
Yeah, but it discriminates again against those who are not construction or union represented construction workers. Another criticism of Davis-Bacon is that it uses flawed wage data to determine the prevailing wage, the metric set by the Department of Labor. It's been criticized by the Office of Inspector General. The GAO have criticized how the prevailing wage is calculated. The Heritage Foundation did a study that found that 30,000 more construction jobs could be created on an annual basis if the Department of Labor actually accurately calculated Davis-Bacon rates to find the true prevailing wage. However, the new Davis-Bacon rule doesn't do anything to improve the wage survey. And I understand that your goal is probably to artificially increase wages in favor of unions. This doesn't always work. In my district of Charlottesville, the Bureau of Labor Statistics showed, in Charlottesville City in my district, shows that the market wages for cement masons are $22 an hour, but the prevailing wage is $15 an hour, so that's a 30% difference there. How can you justify government intervention that actually deflates workers' wages?
So, as you know, the way that we establish prevailing wages in the Wage and Hour Division under the Davis-Bacon and Davis-Bacon related acts is that we conduct a survey of locally paid wages. And so those surveys are of actual wages paid to actual workers performing construction work by county. And that is very much a way that we are able to establish what the appropriate prevailing wage is. To your point, sometimes the prevailing wage surveys get outdated, which is one of the reasons why we adopted this new rule.
Just a few seconds left, if I may. I'm sorry, but what we should do is repeal DavisBacon and let the market determine the wages. But if not, we ought to at least commit to improving this broken wage survey process that takes all the workers into account, including those not represented by a union. And I yield back, Chairman Kiley. Thank you again.
The gentleman from Michigan.